I have a new video for you guys because we need to talk about the Jake Paul situation. He has recently been called out by a TikToker named Justine Paradise, and she is accusing him of taking it way too far, and she did not consent. Jake has responded to these allegations, and today we're going to talk about both sides before Jake sues Justine into silence. So let's get into it. If you guys don't know who Jake Paul is, he is a famous YouTuber with 20 million subscribers. He also has a famous YouTuber brother named Logan Paul, and they are both really great at getting themselves in trouble. But this time, Jake may have taken it way too far because this TikToker named Justine Paradise has been calling him out for something he did to her in the summer of 2019. She recently posted a video on her YouTube, but she is known for her TikTok. She has 500,000 followers on that platform, and she came to YouTube to share her experience and what she went through with Jake. She actually had to sign an NDA for Jake, so by making this video, she definitely broke it, and now she is challenging him, and he's challenging her back. Before we talk about her video and the story that she told, I want to go ahead and just talk about Jake Paul's response. Currently, Jake is denying all of these allegations, and he says he is going to aggressively go at Justine with his lawyers because, like I said, she broke an NDA. She's now coming forward with this story, and whether it's true or not, he is going to sue her, and anyone with that amount of money is most likely going to win because there is probably no way that Justine can fund a lawsuit against Jake Paul. So I have no idea what's going to happen after this. But before he sues her into silence, I want to share her story. But anyways, like I said, his lawyers have confirmed that he is going to aggressively sue and take action. And let's just go ahead and read the quote because they claim our client is aware of the recent allegations against him. While others have already begun to debunk the claim alleged against him, our client categorically denies the allegation and has every intention of aggressively disproving it and pursuing legal action against those responsible for defamation of his character. Of course, everyone has the right to go and defend themselves, and if Jake is confident that he did not do this, then he will go forth and do that. But also, Justine should have the ability to share what she has gone through, and this NDA situation, oh, I hate them because I mean, I understand why they are necessary sometimes so that people don't take advantage of you, but in this type of situation, like she says in her video, this is a crime and it allows her to break her NDA, and that is why she's coming forward. So let's go ahead and talk about her video and react to some bits because I want to show you guys what she said on camera because a lot of people are having mixed reactions to her. She's got a ton of support, but also a ton of dislikes. And recently, some news outlets have been picking up this story about Jake Paul, but it doesn't seem like she has as much support as someone in this situation should probably have. Anyways, let's go ahead and watch this video together. Just to give you guys some background on this situation, the incident went down in July 2019, but that wasn't the first time that Justine met Jake because she met him in June. And then after hanging out about 5 or 6 times, it happened on June 20th in the early morning. She has been holding this inside, and she is now coming forward after failed attempts of trying to reach Jake, and she wants him to be held accountable and not to do this to any other girls in the future. So the video starts off with this message, and it's kind of sad to see because you already know that she feels like she's not going to be believed. And she writes, "Please watch the full video before commenting. This is what happened. I show as much proof as I can throughout the video." And she does. She really does try to prove her point. She also says, "Everything I said in this video is true. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments. I hope this video saves someone else from being in the position I was."
Hi. I feel really kind of awkward right now because I think about this a lot. I think about it every single day. but I've never said anything about it because a couple different reasons.
If you want to watch the full video, I will link it below, but I'm just going to bounce through little clips, and some of the reasons why she has waited to tell her story is because, first off, she doesn't want to just end Jake's career. That is not her goal. She's not trying to be the cancel queen here. She just wants to hold him accountable, and she wants to ask for an apology. She tried to do this in person, but he just never got back to her. She also feels really guilty about the situation. She has internalized a ton of guilt, and she's scared. She's also scared, a third reason, because of how much time has gone by, because it did happen in 2019, and she feels like because it's been, some time, that I guess it's going to hinder her I don't know, believability. People aren't going to think that it's authentic because it happened some time ago, so why didn't you report it back then? And that's what all these people always end up saying, like Dr. Phil's saying about Bad Baby. They're always like, why didn't you report it back then? Well, also, I was in a vulnerable spot and maybe I didn't know how to report it. She also uses fake names as she describes this story, so I'm going to use those names that she used in her video. Justine claims that she didn't really know who Jake was until she met him. I mean, she saw his name around online because the Paul brothers are everywhere, but she never watched his videos or knew much about his personality. She was with a mutual friend named Becca, and they were actually going to go hang out with their friend Michael. Again, those are all fake names, but she went to go hang out with those friends, and that's how she connected with Team 10. If you guys don't know what Team 10 is, that is Jake Paul's original group. I don't know, are they still a thing? I feel like Team 10 went away, but maybe they're still around, and it used to be his social media house with a bunch of influencers. Justine says that she felt very intimidated at that time. She wasn't expecting to meet all of these celebrities at that moment, but even though she was nervous, she bonded with them and she ended up at the Team 10 house. Like I was just saying, Jake Paul had a huge house with a bunch of influencers in it, which sounds very toxic, but also really entertaining, and that's where she went to go hang out with everyone else. In this part of the video, she talks a little bit about the NDA situation, and she describes how when you walk into this Team 10 house, there's like a screen already there ready for you to sign an NDA. And it reminds me of Austin McBroom because when he is with a girl, he supposedly has them sign an NDA on their phone, like just sign it on there so that they have to be silenced. And just hear her describe how it goes down because it sounds just so weird to me.
As soon as you go in to the Team 10 house, right on the side of the wall, there's this thing that takes your picture and has you sign an NDA form. Also, that is why I thought I wasn't allowed to talk about this, and then I made a TikTok today asked if someone me, but I signed an NDA.
If she was hurt and she signed an NDA, does she have to, follow through with it?
Am I allowed to speak about it? Because I thought if you sign an NDA, you're signing away your rights to talk about anything, basically.
Which Justine is right. When you sign an NDA, you do just sign away your rights to speak on that person or anything that happens with them, unless it's illegal. And that is I guess, a loophole in the situation where if it's a crime or a crime is involved, you can speak out. And she has to be very confident in herself when speaking out on this because a lot of the times people don't end up speaking out just because even though there was a crime, these people who get NDAs are so legally and financially powerful that they will just take you out because they don't want to, I don't know, they're not going to deal with you. I mean, maybe a settlement, that could be, I guess, nice if that's what she wants. But at the end of the day, these people usually don't lose in court. She would need a lot of proof or something to get him criminally charged, and that's just not easy to do. The first time that Justine spoke to Jake, it was really awkward because she says that he was in the kitchen doing some business stuff. She was looking for the bathroom, and pretty much he asked her if she had an accent. She told him, no, I don't have an accent. Where is the bathroom? She went and then did her thing and went back to her friends Michael and Becca to hang out with them. Throughout this video, the way that she describes Jake is so kind of awkward because she claims that he is very socially just distant, I guess. When he is around people, he will text them or, won't really go and try to flirt with the girl because he's used to girls just jumping on at him. So it's a weird situation with him because he's kind of demanding but doesn't really ask for it so forthright. In this clip, Justine is going to talk talk about the moment that Jake asked for her number.
And then Jake came up to me and he asked me for my phone number at some point. And even though this was like a year and a half ago, I do still have the phone that I had at the time, so I have all the messages and everything. He was really awkward. I don't know if it was just me or if he's like this with everyone. I mean, I don't think he's like this with everyone. I don't know. But he was really awkward when he was talking to me. Like, to me, it reminded me of, like, middle school, because he would text me even if I was, like, in the same room as him. I can put up the text here.
Wait, hold up. That is so awkward. Like, he's like, how are you? And she's like, why are you texting me when I'm in your house? And he says, because you're cute. And she said, should I come up? And he said, yeah, come here. It was so awkward. What?
I'm not sure exactly how many times I went to his house.
And at this point, she says the earliest text that she has is from June, and the date that it happened was July 20th, early that morning.
He would be like, hey, where are you? I'm like, I'm downstairs or whatever, like, I'll come up. And then he would still text me even though I'm in the same room, and I just felt uncomfortable because why can't you just talk to my face if I'm here? But I just figured he had bad social skills. Like, I didn't know anything about him before, but after I met him, I kind of, like, looked him up a little bit, and I guess he's been famous for, like, a long time. So I'm just assuming he always got what he wanted and never had to build, like, social skills and talking to people.
That's probably a correct assumption. I'm sure that he's just been getting whatever he wants for a long time, and he's used to it, and he's used to people just, like, you know, freaking out over him and his presence. He probably thinks he's like a god, which is a weird place to be. But also, that's just kind of my assumption from what I've seen and how he talks about himself.
Like, girls basically just, like, throw themselves at him, which is what I was seeing there. Like, girls were just throwing themselves at him, and he would go to his room with a different girl, like, multiple different girls every day. Like, that's just what happened. It was fine, whatever.
Then she describes the day that it happened, and pretty much she was over at the Team 10 house, and they were recording and, you know, recording music and recording videos and just creating content. That's what influencers do. She was with her friend Michael. Remember, that's not actually his name. And Jake would also invite her over. And this day in particular, they were in the studio, and it was really awkward because, again, Jake would text her, very middle school vibes, and when they were in the studio, Jake pulled a really weird move and just, like, went up to Justine and started, like, making out with her. At this point, Justine was fine with it and really didn't care, like, that he was kissing her because she kind of had a crush on him. She low-key liked it, but she thought it was odd because he was doing it in front of everyone in the studio. Everyone was looking, including her friend Michael, and she kind of felt like he was just trying to show off. This led to Jake grabbing her hand and leading her to his room. He was being really kind to her, and they were having simple conversation. Actually, their first conversation was very, very simple and kind of weird. Let's play a clip. So Justine claims she asked him, where is he from? And he said, Ohio. And she asked what part, and this was his reaction.
And he was just like, you care about what part? Like, no one actually cares. No one actually wants to talk to me. Like, the whole, like, I'm famous. No one actually cares about me. They just want things from me. I don't know if that's just, like, a card he plays, like, oh, I'm just this famous person, but you get me, and, like, you actually want to know who I am. We were dancing in his room, like ballroom dancing, you know? And then we were, like, kissing and stuff, and then he, like, took it to his bed.
Justine then says that she hasn't been with that many people physically before, and she wasn't really trying to get with Jake in that moment either. She didn't think by going into his room that she was just signing up for this. She felt like if she went in there and he tried something and she said no, that he would just respect it and they would move on. Like normal life, how that would work, you know, in a perfect world. So at this point in the story, they are at Jake's bed.
And then every time he would, like, try to put my hand places or, like, try to put his hands places that I didn't want, I would just kind of move it away and be like, no. And then, like, you know, just back to kissing. And then at one point, he said, if nothing is going to happen, then what's the point? What's the point? Wait,
hold on. Back it up. He said, if nothing is going to happen, then what's the point? What do you mean? Like, if nothing's going to happen here, then what's the point of her just being there or what? Because at this point, they've hung out about like 5 or 6 times, so I thought they were friends, but that was just what he thought of her. I need to hear that one more time.
If nothing is going to happen, then what's the point? What's the point? I don't know, maybe I could be one of your friends. Maybe I can just be someone that you kiss. Never, ever have I rejected someone's touches and they said, well, if nothing's gonna happen, what's the point? Like, what?
Yeah, I mean, that is just such a crappy thing to do, and I feel like no gentleman would ever do that, but I'm sure if Jake did this, then he's definitely not a gentleman at all. It's just all really gross to hear about it because the next part is just really disgusting, and I want to give you guys a trigger warning because this is when everything goes down. So Jake gets up from the bed, he pulls his part out, and he pretty much makes her do it. He, quote, grabbed her face and just pushed it towards it, which is obviously not cool when she just said she doesn't want to do anything, and he already acknowledges that because he even said, oh, if nothing's going to happen, then what's the point? Well, then he made something happen. That's the problem. Again, trigger warning.
And, like, holding my head, like, into him. Like, I couldn't even tell him not to. He didn't ask for consent or anything. Like, he knew I didn't want to do anything with him because he said, if nothing's gonna happen, what's the point? And then he just shoves himself in me. That's not okay on no level at all. Is that okay?
It's not okay at all, and it's actually so hard to listen to. She continues and she talks a little bit more about what exactly happened, and she said the incident itself did not last long because I guess Jake Paul doesn't last long, and so oh god, so gross to say. She said like 30 seconds, so it was really fast, and by the time it was over she was kind of like, wait, what just happened? She was in shock. She then claims that Jake came back to the bed and, quote, cuddled her for 0.2 seconds, so very quickly, and then he wanted to go back to the studio. She wanted to go into his bathroom and get cleaned up because she had stuff on her and she also had her hair messed up and she was just kind of very caught off guard. She said in her own words that if she went down there looking like this, then they would have known what happened. Jake told her no, and he wanted to go down to the studio right away. But then she said no, and she went into his bathroom in his bedroom. At this point, Jake grabbed her phone and he brought it to her because he was so determined to leave, and this is what he had to say.
Jake, at this point in his room, after I'm trying to like fix my hair and makeup and stuff to get out, he picks up my phone. He was like, come on, let's leave, get your dinosaur phone and let's go. And I was just like, wait a second.
Justine says this was the first time, like being in his room, that he was very aggressive and rude to her, forcing her to do things that she did not want to do and kind of making fun of her phone and trying to force her back downstairs, just being very selfish and aggressive. She ended up staying with them that night because she was there very late and it wasn't safe for her to, go and drive home. And she actually has a Snapchat that she took at that time. It has the date as July 20th, 8:30 in the morning, and she said, I took this Snapchat while I was there. You can see by the location that I was in Calabasas and my face was puffy from crying. Justine says that she tried to talk to Jake after the situation, but it was just pretty awkward and he wasn't hitting her back up. She claims she was invited back by other people who lived at the Team 10 house, but she wanted to talk to him about what happened, but he was no longer responding to her. Justine was trying to hang out with him and talk to him about this because she couldn't wrap her mind around what happened. She feels like he didn't purposely do it, and she wanted to sit down and talk to him about it, to tell him that it hurt her and not to do this because she thought maybe, because he's super famous, he just doesn't know how these things work and he's just used to doing whatever he wants, and she wanted to tell him that this was wrong, but she never got that opportunity. She included these pictures of herself because she wanted to remind him what she looked like because at this point she had different color hair and whatever, that was her vibe. I'm sure Jake does remember her, even if he, sees a bunch of people all the time or has done this to multiple people. She seems quite memorable, and they hung out several times. I think it's really sad how Justine is really not confident in other people's ability to believe her or to hear her out and just listen to what she included.
I would like to say, I know a lot of people are going to assume that I'm just making this video for attention because there's always those people who don't believe you. And honestly, I'm saying this for the girls that place. The girls who are just going to hang out with their friend, but they end up meeting him. For the girls who maybe want to hang out with him, now you know, or even if you don't believe me, at least it'll be in the back of your mind.
It's sad how we live in a society where these people do not feel like they will be believed, but that's just how our world has been working. But things are starting to change, and she has spoken out against this. And like I said, Jake has replied, and he is going to sue her into silence. I mean, I don't know how an investigation would come about here or what would go down, but I don't think Justine is probably financially prepared to take on Jake Paul, and we're just going to have to see, because Jake is definitely not an innocent character. He has gotten in legal trouble in the past. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and let me know if this changes how you see Jake Paul. But anyways, I have a P.O. box item to open for you guys, and it's from Emmy Teddy Designs. And actually the box is a little bit torn up and damaged. I don't know what happened in transit, but I hope everything is all right. And if you guys ever want to send me anything, I have my P.O. box listed below. I've been meaning to open more stuff, but I've been really slow at it lately. So let's go ahead and see what's in here. I'm so excited. And we got a note right on top, which I love. Dear Sloan, thank you. Oh, it's from April 2nd, so it's about 11 days off. That's not too bad. Thank you for using your platform to shine a light on dark topics and to promote small businesses. You've mentioned that YouTube is your hobby, but I found it so hard to believe. Okay, I just watched your content earlier this year, and I admire your level of professionalism. Your videos are always jam-packed with names and timelines. You have built a wonderful community of caring people. Aw, they help gather the info, and you give it a voice, truly. Joining your community has been a highlight during my quarantine, and it gives me something to listen to while I work. A massive thank you for your quality content, and as a way to give back, I have included 2 custom Sloan items I personally designed, as well as a few items from my online store. I hope they bring you as much joy as your videos brought to me. Please continue to speak up and be vulnerable. It's not easy to talk about Dan or Brittany or ED, but I appreciate that you do. Thank you with lots of love and respect, Emily. Oh, thank you so much. And she's got a company called Emmy Teddy Designs. So I will link everything below. And let's go ahead and see what she says. I actually just thought, I'm like, I could release a video right now. So maybe I'll do that. So let's see what this is. I'm so excited. This design is awesome. Like, wait, what? It looks like the colors of my banner. Look at this mask. I've been needing a new mask. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. I love this. Yes. This is so good. Like, I need to go to, oh, and it's got the bend. Perfect, because I usually wear glasses, so this is perfect for me. Oh, I love this. Thank you. And she's got a really cool logo, too. It's all very, like, professionally put together, so that's really cool. And let's see what this says. I want you to be happy. This is a little, 10% off your order, so that's cool. You guys should definitely check out her shop below. And let's see what else is in here. It looks like this has some of these instructions or something. Maybe, like, some warnings. I don't know. Why would I need warning? Oh, I guess warning on how to clean the mask. Okay, let me take this off. I'm sure it probably sounds like I'm trying to speak through a wall. And let's go ahead and see what's in here. Oh my gosh, it looks like some stickers. Some custom stickers. Let's go ahead and see. Ooh, gosh, guys. I need to use my sword, but last time when I, like, went right into my hand, I don't know, it left me triggered. So let's see what these, wow, okay, cool. Got them all out. This is her card right here. Emily, she's an artist and sticker designer. Cool. Oh, look at, this is a magnet. That's awesome. I love this. And then she sent me this sticker. Oh my gosh, these are so cute. This is like a Pokemon, right? This is a Pokemon. Let's see. Let's talk about mental health. I love that. This heart, and it looks like a penguin right here, and then what? Oh, a peach, a whole peach. Oh, I love these. Thank you so much, Emily. I really appreciate that, and definitely go check out her shop below. I will see you guys in a new video soon. Bye, guys.